pandemic has exacerbated the vulnerability of families living in informal settlements. The solution is thus clear: to build forward better, uphold our people's right to adequate housing.
This forum is likewise a pivotal initiative in addressing the gaps in our current national housing program and formulating innovative, sustainable, and inclusive solutions.
The biggest investor in housing are the families themselves. We can see this even in informal settlements. Families are building even at the risk of being evicted.
Smart city initiatives can help have a better and more efficient way of land management and space management. You're already be able to manage the disasters even at the start if you have an efficient and effective a tool.
For anything to be sustainable, we build houses that are disaster resilient, but it also needs to be replicable and scalable.
The housing gap in the Philippines requires us to take bolder steps and explore new and innovative ideas.
If a product or a system has no Philippine national standard yet, so they have to apply for an ITEC accreditation. This is to give assurance to the end users that these technologies, materials are really safe, structurally sound, and cost-efficient and environment-friendly.
From being a brick-making company, we have evolved to becoming a product, technology, and solutions development company where we use waste as a resource.
There's a much bigger market that does exist for families which are not being considered as part of the formal income sector.
We also have our housing loan for the individuals, especially those housing loans that ranges from 4 million and below. We call it socialized housing.
To significantly scale up green, affordable housing, we collaborate across the housing ecosystem. We work with financial institutions, including commercial banks and mortgage institutions, to create green finance products.
As far as policy is concerned, which to you is the most important policy development that should be and has not been acted on by the government?
The Urban Development and Housing Act of 1992, as written, is perfect with all the principles explained there, allotting for 15% for socialized housing. While this is being complied with by developers, they would throw this 15% component outside the fringes of the city.
I think it is a fault of the system that land is really very exorbitant already. And so there is very little land that is available where the jobs are.
I think what we need to address is that housing is both a public and a private good. We have given or placed most of the housing burden on the private sector. Yes, ma'am. The DSUD has received very little in government support.
Less than 1%, ma'am. Sir, less than 1% of the total budget.
That if you are going to try to increase the supply of housing, you have to tackle costs. And if the input costs of land is the most expensive, you need the help of government in that.
We invite you to recognize the benefits of housing, to promote economic development, reduce inequality, and meet the SDGs. As our country's leaders, we ask that you use your capabilities, power, and influence to create and strengthen the foundations needed to unlock this. Because through shelter, we can empower.
Housing provides endless opportunities for families to transform their lives and maximize their potentials to contribute to social progress. Let's replicate together the communities that Habitat Philippines built that help thousands of families to break free from insecure living conditions, enabling them to live dignified and stable lives.
That we are one with Habitat for Humanity Philippines in taking proactive measures to build resilient and sustainable human settlements. Together, let us foster an economically vibrant housing and sustainable urban development in the Philippines that facilitates equitability and inclusiveness. Maraming salamat at mabuhay tayo lahat.